NBA's best team during the regular season, the Oklahoma City Thunder, begin the quest for their first championship since they resided in Seattle in 1979 as they host the Memphis Grizzlies at Paycom Center in Game 1 of this best-of-7 first-round series. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP frontrunner, led the Thunder to 68 wins, facing off against Ja Morant, who averages 27 points per game in his playoff career. This is the 1-8 matchup in the West. 6 8 seeds have pulled off the upset. Memphis did it back in 2011. Winner to face Denver or the Clippers. Denver up 1-0 in that series. What a win for Minnesota last night.
They hang their hat on the defensive end of the floor. Make no mistake about it, this is their identity. They pride themselves in contesting more shots than any team in the league. You see the scoring numbers. That would be even better if they were in more close games. 43% on average from the field allowed, and then elite level backline rim protection with 2 different guys back there at the last line of defense.
With more on the Thunder, here's Katie. On Thunder, Grizzlies, number 1 seed against the 8th seed in the West. This presentation of the NBA playoffs will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
ESPN Bet is the official sportsbook of ESPN. Get in on trending parlays, daily profit boost, and exclusive talent markets all season long. New customers can bet $10 to get $100.
By Capital One. This is the Memphis starting 5. Desmond Bane, 19 points per game. Scottie Pippen Jr. making his postseason debut. His dad won 6 titles, played in over 200 playoff games. Of course, Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and the rookie, Zach Edey. For the Thunder, Lou Dort, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He'll be up against Morant, Shai, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein in his first season with the Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder, the best record in the NBA during the regular season, and a hot start tonight on a chilly day. Mostly rain here the last couple of days in Thunder, and OKC making it rain with 60% shooting, 7 of 15 from 3. This is their largest lead in a playoff. Mercifully for the Memphis Grizzlies comes to a close. The largest halftime lead in franchise history in a playoff game. If this were a boxing match, the ref would call it. The Thunder lead it 68-36 at halftime. In a half where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wasn't even at his best. It was Hartenstein and Jalen Williams with 14 points apiece. Thunder dominant in Game 1.
NBA First Round, presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook, is brought to you by Google, proud sponsor of the NBA.
first round action presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. One of the greatest playoff halves for the Oklahoma City Thunder since they moved to central Oklahoma almost 2 decades ago. They hold Memphis to 36 points. They put up 68. They outscore Memphis in fast break points 17-0. Look at our first half stats brought to you by PayPal. 53% shooting. We talked about the fast break points. They hold Memphis to 2 of 18 for 3, and they were plus 23 in terms of scoring with Shea on the bench. He finally had an off half. The Grizzlies could not make up for it. Google continue next on ABC with another first-round game. The Boston Celtics, the reigning champs, looking to hang another banner. It all tips off against Orlando. Last time we had a repeat champ in the NBA was Golden State in 2018. The last time the Celtics repeated, despite all those titles, 18 of them, was back in the 60s. You got Miami, Cleveland, Golden State, and Houston also kicking off their series tonight. And we still have a quarter and a half to go in Oklahoma City. To the NBA playoffs presented by Google here in Oklahoma City for the first round presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Jaren Jackson Jr. is mic'd up today for Memphis. Calls a timeout. This team up 46, 2:47 left in the third. Been a great night scoring for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but always seems to make the right play. He had missed his last 2 threes, so what does he do? Waits for the open blue door. Boston Celtics looking for back-to-back championships. They'll start their run against Orlando next on ABC. What a year for Jason Tatum in the MVP conversation, and have to imagine first-team All-NBA.
Yeah, he'll get
bounce. 122-69. Oklahoma City well on its way to a win in Game 1. ABC. Finals MVP from a year ago. Jaylen Brown leads the Boston Celtics in Game 1 against the Orlando Magic in the 2-7 matchup in the East. Well, back here in the West, let's look at the teams with the most playoff experience. The Lakers, clearly LeBron James with a lot of those, and that's why they have the second most behind the Clippers. The Warriors with plenty, and the Thunder with 178. That's the second fewest behind Memphis, just 125. This is only the 24th career playoff game for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.